Hi economists, in this short video I want to recap on the monetarist's new classical model of the macroeconomy and also walk you through a deflationary gap. So let's start by looking at what the long run equilibrium looks like in this model. So the long run equilibrium is at this point where the LRAS, the SRAS and the aggregate demand curve intersect and the price level is set there. In the long run equilibrium, the economy is at the natural rate of unemployment and production is independent of price level. So the LRAS is vertical as wages and other resource prices can change to match output price changes. So firms' cost of production remain constant even as the price level changes. In analysing the new classical model of the macroeconomy, you might apply the IB concepts of scarcity, efficiency, and interdependence. So then we go on to briefly explain how to talk about a deflationary gap. So this is one of the short-run equilibrium positions in this model, and I've drawn it for you here. A deflationary gap is a situation where real GDP is less than potential GDP. So you can see the green arrow there. Your short-run GDP is less than your potential GDP at the long-run aggregate supply curve. Meant to shift that over a bit. So unemployment in this case is greater than the natural rate because you're in a deflationary gap. You're producing less than what the economy is capable of if there was full employment. A deflationary gap occurs when the aggregate demand curve intersects with the SRAS curve, the short-run aggregate supply curve, at a lower level of GDP, here at YE, to the potential GDP, which would be YP. In the monetarist new classical model, it is believed that a deflationary gap, is a short-run phenomenon and cannot persist in the longer term. So in the long run, it's believed these gaps disappear. So this is based on the assumption of wage and price flexibility and in the long run, which allows the economy to automatically come back to its long-run equilibrium level of output. So let me walk you through the theory here. So say you're in an economy here at point A. So you've got AD1 intersecting with SRAS1, and this is your long-run aggregate supply curve. I forgot to label it, I'm sorry, but you know the long-run aggregate supply curve is vertical. And aggregate demand then falls from AD1 to AD2, and you move from this point A to point B. So you use your arrows to show, and this creates a deflationary gap because this is Y recession or deflationary or recessionary gap compared to your YP on your long run aggregate supply curve. So you create a deflationary gap. The drop in aggregate demand creates a deflationary gap. Real GDP falls, and so does the price level fall from P1 to P2. So it's believed that in the long run, the fall in price level is matched by a fall in wages and other resource prices, so that in the longer run, the SRAS curve will move to SRAS2, and you return to a position on the long run aggregate supply curve here at C, and the economy returns to an equilibrium, where a long run equilibrium where you've now got AD2 intersecting the LRAS with SRAS2. So, and the only thing, therefore, in a deflationary gap, once the deflationary gap is eliminated, the only change is the price level has now fallen from P1 to P3 in the longer term as the deflationary gap is fixed. Thank you.